So today we're doing a very special trip, the Snowbank Trail in the Boundary Waters, and we have a special guest joining us today. And that is our friend Luke.
Heyo.
Hi guys, I'm William,
And I'm Cecilia.
and this is our PCT 2025 gear rundown.
Yes, so right now it's about mid-April and we just got done with a Shakedown hike over this last weekend. And in about a month, we're going to be starting the PCT on May 13th, 2025. So we're just going to get right into it and start with our kind of what we're wearing on our bodies on the trail.
Okay, so I guess we can start here. I got a Hilltop Packs fanny pack, and in it I'll kind of have some camera gear. I have a little speaker that's connected to the phone right now, and I'll also have my Shocks headphones, my glasses, and a little pocket knife. And then for my worn clothes, I'm gonna be starting in this pretty sweet hat that has a little neck cape on it. It's CTR. I don't know. It was on sale at REI. I don't really know the brand. And then I got some Ombra sunglasses. These things are pretty sweet. highly recommend. And then I have an old Columbia button-up, not a Triple Crown button-down, but still pretty cool. Doesn't have a hood, but I like it a lot. And I'm also going to be wearing some Patagonia baggies. And then I got my spandex underwear. These are a staple. And then on my feet, for my feet, I have my Ultra Timp 5, I think. And then I got some GAM Graham Gators, or I think they're just Graham Gators. And then I'll be wearing some darn tough socks that I got on my feet right now.
Okay, so for me, we'll start from the top to the bottom. So I've got just a regular baseball cap for a hat, and then these Sun Cloud sunglasses. I like the way they wrap all around, fully around, so sun doesn't get in the sides. And then I have a Jolly Gear triple crown button down trail sundress, which I'm really excited about. This will be the first time that I'm trying out a trail dress, but so we'll see how I like it. I'm really excited for the amount of sun protection it provides, but just in case that's not the way that I'd like to go, I also have Patagonia baggies and then a sun hoodie by Farpoint that I can have shipped to me. Then for underwear, I'm just doing like a tried and true Target sports bra, because that's what I like best. And then I'm going to be trying out the Ex Officio underwear. I think I have two types here. One's like a performance and the other, one's like a sport underwear and the other's like a regular everyday wear. And then I have my Kula cloth pea towel and a buff that I will keep on me. And then for shoes, I'm also going with the Ultra Timp 5s because they were such a great deal at REI. Not typically a color that I would go for, but I think
it was on clearance for $45.
Yep, and they're a little bit more cushioned than the Lone Peak, so I think that's going to be good for me. And then I am doing I think they're Ultra GAM Gators as well. So that is what I'm all wearing.
All right, and for our packs, we're gonna start with what's on the outside. So right on top here, super obvious, we have the Nemo switchback. We cut one in half and split it between the two of us. We weren't gonna bring them, but during our Shakedown hike, we ended up really having a sit pad during the day.
And something to, put at the bottom of our tent at night before we blow up our bigger sleeping pad.
And then for changing in the morning, you're not on the cold ground when you pop the sleeping pad. All right, and then moving on, kind of on the front here in the pockets. So in this pocket, I'm gonna have nothing. It'll be just for snacks and stuff. And then this pocket, I have my headlamp, which is the Black Diamond Storm rechargeable. And I got some squirrel nut butter, which is just chafing cream. And then I have Duke Cannon chapstick. Flipping around, we have, we're gonna each be carrying 4 smart water bottles. We don't have them all right now. And then I also have my 1 bottle hydration adapter. And then on the side here, I have my trekking poles, which are the Fizan ultralight ones. I don't know. And then in the mesh pocket here, I have the Lighthearted Gear rain jacket in blue. And then I have some dance pants, the famous dance pants off Amazon. I have a Canuck water bladder along with a Sawyer squeeze with a water bottle adapter so that we can hook it on the end and it can kind of be a gravity flow. It also helps a lot with back flushing the filter. And one more thing, I got our tent stakes.
And then for me, I have the other half of the Nemo Switchback pad. I also have, I'm gonna have 4 smart water bottles, and then we're each, like he said, carrying a 2-liter Canuck bag. Here I have the same sort of smart water bottle attachment, hose, and then on this side of my pack, you can see that I have a Garmin InReach Mini for SOS. And then also just updating our families when we get into camp or leave or get into town, that kind of stuff. And then I also have this nifty temperature gauge. And then here in my mesh pocket, like I said, I have the Canuck. And then I'll get out my own Sawyer Squeeze as well. And then here we have this is part of my rain gear. I'm doing the Light Heart rain pants with the jacket as well. The jacket's on the inside of my pack. And then I will be carrying our nifty little poop kit. And inside that poop kit is a lightweight trowel. I think it's like, is it Bogle or
Bogler trowel.
So we have that. And then I have a little, if I can get it out of here, like a bidet, and then our own designated water bottle for the bidet. And then, of course, we have hand sanitizer, and we have a little waterproof poop emoji bag by Space Bear, where we're going to keep our toilet paper. And then I also have like whatever feminine products I might need for the day, if that's the time of the month. So, and then last part, I have, well, one empty pocket on the hip belt, and then on the other pocket of the hip belt, I have a little Swiss Army knife, and then we're gonna have 70 plus Neutrogena sunscreen, and then I have my Black Diamond headlamp that I've been using for years as well. So that's the outside of our packs. Oh, one more thing that I forgot. Whoops. I'm also carrying Black Diamond hiking poles. I think they're says distance FLZ. I got them from the REI like clearance section and have liked them for the year or 2 I've been using them, so I'll just carry them on the PCT as well.
All right.
Cool.
Let's get into our packs. So, at the top of my pack, I have a little Tyvek sheet. It's 3x6. I can also use this to wrap up my Nemo Switchback so that it doesn't get wet if it's raining. But otherwise it sits at the top of my pack. And I also have a Hilltop Packs food bag. We have our bear hang line. We still have to cut it, but we just haven't yet. But it's microcord by Atwood Rope. It's just some rope we bought off Garage Growing Gear. And then for my spoon and toothbrush, I have the Tokes titanium long-handled spoon, and then the toothbrush that clips on the end of it. And then we got some toothpaste tablets that you kind of they're just dehydrated toothpaste. You kind of pop them in your mouth and chew them up. And then I got some floss. And then next, we have our electronics and first aid bag. And in here, I have the FlexTail Zero Pump. I have a toenail clipper. I have a spare lighter just in case the one in our stove doesn't work for some reason. I kind of have like a little trauma kit with like gauze, band-aids, anything you could need. And then I have some tenacious tape in there. In this one, I have kind of like medication and stuff, some burn cream, triple antibiotic, some Imodium. I have a little syringe for washing out any cuts we get, if they're deep enough. And then here's our electronics bag. Kind of go over this quick. we're carrying all Type C cords, 4 of them between the 2 of us, and then I have my Shocks headphones charger in here, and then all of our cords are Type C to Type C, and we have these little adapters for all of our different gear, all of our different electronics, and then we have 2 Anchor wall chargers. And then we have a 20,000 milliamp Anchor power bank. And last thing is my clothes. I have the Enlightened Equipment pullover. I like the kangaroo pocket on it. That's why I chose the pullover. And then I have the Farpoint Alpha Direct hoodie. I have a Led Zeppelin t-shirt for a pajama shirt. And then I have a wool leggings, long underwear, whatever you want to call them. And then, most importantly, I have some fire underwear and some darn tough socks.
Okay, so on the inside of my pack, I have the other half of our tent, the outside of the Durston, and then I have we have another Hilltop Packs food bag. Inside, I will be carrying the fire maple pots with a heat exchanger.
Yep.
On the bottom. I like this plastic top because it'll be good for like cold soaking food, and like lunch if we want to do that. Inside we've chosen to carry another smaller pot, which will be helpful for like if we want to make coffee in the morning, or if I want to boil my Diva cup, then we have like another separate place to do it, because that'd probably be while we're making food or whatever. So it'll just be nice to have another pot for that. Inside we have a lighter, and we have our pocket rocket, which is also fire maple. All right, and then on to the next. I have my Tyvek ground sheet for under the tent. Let's see here. Oh, okay, so we have the second half of my rain suit. This is the Lightheart Gear raincoat, and then inside it I also am going to be trying these Enlightened Equipment rain mitts. I've never tried rain mitts before, but we'll see if they're helpful. I don't know. I guess time will tell. And then next is my dry bag, which is also from Hilltop Packs. Inside of it, I'm going to be carrying a pair of just regular like fleece gloves, and then I have an Enlightened Equipment Torrid puffy, which is synthetic, a little bit better just for myself, and then I also have a Alpha Direct fleece here, and then a Smart Wool hat for when it gets cold, and then a merino wool. I think this is REI brand, like base layer for sleeping. It's like long sleeves, long pants, and then I'll also keep my extra underwear in here, and then maybe 1 to 2 pairs of darn tough socks, and then I'm also keeping in here any feminine products that I won't need for the day, including pads, tampons, and a Diva cup. So that's the personal like dry bag. And then the last thing is 2 more things, I guess. Goose feet down booties. I get really cold at night, so I'm going to be carrying those the whole way. And then we also have a two-person quilt from Enlightened Equipment. I think it's a is it 20 degree
20 degree, yep.
rated. So this is what we'll be using for the PCT for our sleep system, part of our sleep system.
And also in both our packs we'll have a trash compactor bag.
Just a regular one, like from the grocery store. So.
All right. For our Sierra gear, we're both going to be carrying the BB500 Bear Vaults. You have to carry these through the Sierras. And in this, when I get it shipped to me, I'll have some gloves, just some rando gloves I had laying around, some Catula micro spikes, as well as a bug head net.
Okay, and then I am just getting the micro spikes and the bug head net because I will already have my warm gear with me throughout the trail. So that's all I'll be receiving at the Sierras.
All right. Well, that's all our gear. So all that's left to do now is to hit the trail. May 13th. You guys can expect a video once or twice a week. Yeah. It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Come along for the adventure. Bye.
I want to do an honest review of... Wait, is it on?
Yeah.
All right, so for this trip of my side series of my review for the Cascade Mountain Tech poles from Costco. I've never used poles before, so this should be a pretty good experience. You know, already pretty satisfied with the locking mechanisms as well as the tips. I believe they're carbide, so happy to see how the durability will look on those. Other than that, I'll let you know how this cork holds up. Straps look pretty good, and you know, more updates to come. All right, cut. All right, so we just woke up. It's day 2, and it's time for my day 2 review of the Cascade Mountain Tech trekking poles from Costco. I've never used poles before. Overall, yesterday was quite enjoyable. Without them, I probably would have been struggling. I've got some pros. You can see here the carbide tips are still totally intact, so happy to see that they didn't skimp on that. I did have some initial worries about the clamping device here. You'll notice on some of these they're super loosey-goosey, but not to worry, I didn't have any slippage at all, so it all stayed the same height. And you do have these nice adjustable knobs. I kind of like that. Haven't had to deal with a lot of wetness, so not a ton of review on the cork. The grips are pretty comfortable. The straps didn't chafe at all, so yeah, more updates to come in the next day.